This is video number 4 for week number 1, and this is our last video of the week. In this video, I wanted to talk about online education and maybe give you some hints and tips about how to handle online education. Online education is great. There are some definite pros to online education, but there are some drawbacks to it as well. And I wanted to talk about both the good parts and the bad parts of online education as we prepare to begin our term together and work together towards completing COMM1160. I actually did a form of online well, it wasn't online education back then, but a form of distance education when I was in university. I went to Carleton University, and Carleton had something called ITV, which was instructional television, which meant that you could actually do a class by watching TV. They would record the classes, you would tune in at a specific time and actually watch your lecture. And I did a couple of courses this way, and I have to admit, it was really hard. It was a really different experience than the face-to-face experience. I think I gained something, though, from doing that, and hopefully I can pass along some of these hints and tips. But let's go back to the pros and cons. One of the really nice parts about online education is that you can complete the work on your own schedule. And we know in these crazy times, having flexibility in your schedule is really important. So the nice part about this course is you can literally do it at any time that you want. Videos also allow you to rewind to parts of a lecture that you may have missed, or allows you to rewatch stuff if you feel that you need extra reinforcement. Another bonus with online education is that you're gaining increased skill with technology. So as you're learning how to navigate all sorts of different software and use all sorts of different online tools, you're actually improving your ability to work with technology, which we know is really important in the healthcare industry. Some of the bad parts, though, of online education is that you have to stay enormously motivated and organized. Everything is really independent with online education. So it's important to stay up to date and to stay energized and excited about what it is that you're doing so that you actually get the work done on time. The other bad part is that you don't necessarily have a support team with classmates that you would have if you were sitting face-to-face in classes with one another all the time. And that is a really big drawback to online education. Support networks are really important. And I've encouraged you to reach out and connect electronically with one another so that hopefully you can make some of those connections that we normally would have face-to-face. It also can be really easy to tune out or get distracted while watching videos or listening to recorded lectures. It's just human nature. It's hard. You really have to force yourself to pay attention and to make sure that you're staying engaged with the material. The last con is probably the one that bothers me the most. In online education, you don't have the immediate feedback with facial expression and personal interaction that we would in the classroom. So in a classroom situation, we're looking at one another, we're exchanging facial expressions, body language, all sorts of information is flowing back and forth, and we don't have that with online education. So it can make it feel kind of cold and impersonal. If you want to be the best online student you can be, what you want to do is to develop some skills that will really help you. The first and probably the most important skill that you can develop is the skill of persistence. You need to persist. So it's important to remember that you got to stay on top of getting all of your work done when you don't have somebody looking over your shoulder. That's hard. There's going to be times when you're discouraged or where you feel disconnected from everything, but you've got to persist through that and make sure that you're giving it your all. You also need to have effective time management and effective and appropriate communication skills to be a good online student. Time management is really important. Again, because you don't have a set out schedule necessarily that's blocked off with all of your classes, it's very easy to fall into the habit of putting stuff off until the next day. You also need basic technical skills and reading and writing skills to be a successful online student. Motivation and independence is also very important. You need to stay motivated. So think about what your end goal is. Picture yourself, even right now, 5 years from now, where it is that you want to be. Every time you feel a little bit discouraged or a little bit disconnected with online education, go back to that picture and think about what it is that you want. That'll help you stay motivated. You also need a good study environment, and a lot of people forget about this part. It's important that you carve out a little space for yourself. So whether that's, if you're lucky enough, an entire room that you can use as a study or your own sort of study area, or even just a corner of a room that you can devote to being the place that you're going to actually complete your work. You want to make sure you have a comfy chair. You want to make sure that you have access to good coffee. You want to make sure that you have everything that you need to be comfortable and successful. Here's some free advice, again, based on my experiences doing distance education. The first thing that I think is really important is taking breaks. It's unrealistic to expect that you can sit and listen to videos hour after hour after hour without giving your mind and your body a bit of a chance to take a break. So make sure that you have some break time scheduled in and try to do something fun or entertaining on a break. So set a goal where you're going to work for 15 or 20 minutes, say through a video, and then treat yourself after that. Give yourself some time on your phone on social media. Go get a cup of coffee. Get some kind of a treat. Eat a chocolate bar. Whatever it is that you need to keep going, take that little break. You also want to make sure that you celebrate small achievements. So every time you complete an assignment and you've done it to your satisfaction and you're happy with your evaluation of that assignment, celebrate that. Okay? Give yourself a pat on the back. Make sure that you're celebrating your achievements. Reach out if you need help. Again, it can be really lonely to go through online education, and sometimes your professors are just going to sound like a voice coming through the computer. But we're real people behind these screens. If you need something, reach out. I think you'll find that people at Niagara College are more than willing to help. And then another thing that I encourage you to do in orientation is try to personally connect with other classmates and exchange email or phone numbers or set up a WhatsApp group or whatever it is that you want to do so that you can actually stay connected with one another. I think following these little tips will help make the online experience a lot richer for you. And I'm hoping that one day we'll be back on campus and I'll be able to meet you face to face. Next week, we're going to actually begin our work. I will be uploading the videos for week number 2 a little bit early. So watch for an announcement to come through with an update saying that the week 2 folder has been updated. I wish you all the very best as you complete your first week either at Niagara College or your first week back to Niagara College. I hope you've had a good week, and I'm looking forward to talking to you next week. Bye for now.